So I want to try to touch on this real quick. This was actually triggered. I was watching a clip of an old Miles Monroe, and he's the one that brought the scripture up. It kind of triggered this moment, and it just says, "Many are the plans in a man's mind, but it's the Lord's purpose that'll stand, or it's the Lord's purpose that'll be carried out, or it's the Lord's counsel that succeeds, that is done." And it goes on to say some other things, but I just want to stay with this one because I feel like it really relates to divine flow for me in this moment, because a lot of us are and I keep saying this, a lot of us feel beaten up and broken down. We feel tired, we feel stressed, depressed, all of these things. And I think we don't understand that those are characteristics or attributes of a person who is trying to do their plan or their will. Even if your plan is righteous or seems righteous in your mind as you understand righteousness, if it's not God's plan, if it's not God's purpose for whatever God's purpose is or looks like for you, then it cannot be carried out. A lot of times we think that a person has success based on some things that they're not going through, or some things that it looks like from your eyes that they're not going through. Maybe they got a lot of money, you know what I mean? Maybe they got a lot of things, and it seems like they don't have the same struggles or worries. That's a trap and a trick, because you don't know what a man has or what a man is carrying. We've all heard countless stories of people that have a lot of things, but they hang themselves or they kill themselves because they didn't have the purpose of God. Their focus was turned towards their own heart's desires. You know what it says? The heart is deceitful. There are a lot of things that the heart wants. And I'm not even going to try to, it sometimes it's hard to identify when it's not right or it's not godly, but there's something there that will let you know something. It's God's purposes that'll be carried out. It's God's will. It's God's thing. So we have to learn how do I plug in to truly God's stuff? And we think hardships are unfair, and we think that they're not justifiable or they're not justified. But truly, if you didn't have the hard moments, you wouldn't know what you want, what you wasn't. That's gonna be crazy to say. If we didn't have the hard moments, we could not identify who we presently are standing, looking out into the world as. We wouldn't know it. It's only through those times where we can identify something that we need to see within ourselves. And that's just the truth. And some people say, well, man, why does it have to be so much of it? I have no idea. All I know is we are layered. We carry with us generations of layered mess that God has to clean up. So and from God's perspective, there are probably a lot of reasons why, it takes the amount of time it takes, and then I'm pretty sure there's some other reasons why that we don't even know about. But the truth is, your mind is filled with ideas that completely go in the opposite direction of where God is trying to get you to go. God is trying to take things because of his purpose. Because remember, his purpose is vast, it's big, it's bigger than you, it's bigger than even your generation. It goes beyond what you can even think, dream, and imagine. Because God is God. God sees from all angles and all ways. We just have to buy into, and we have to believe that he knows what God is doing in us and through us, with us, for us. And I believe as the result of obeying, because what does the Bible also say? He doesn't intend to harm you. He intends to prosper you. And I think I heard somebody say, that scripture don't mean that. Get out of here. That's all I want to say. Get out of here. God's mind is big. It's unmeasurable. You can't weigh it. It's so deep. So you can't say what. Sorry, y'all. Somebody's bumping music behind me here. I don't know if it's coming through or not. But we can't definitively say what God isn't saying or God is saying on a lot of different matters. Don't get tricked. But I wanted just to come in here and say it's all meaningful. Just start to surrender. Just get into the flow. Get into your current. Get on your current. Let your current take you to the place that you were meant and designed to thrive. But the only way you get there is you got to ride the current. You got to get on. You got to get in to where God is taking you in God's purpose, because that's the only thing that stands and lasts. This is not a down, woe is me type of message, but we got to get some understanding, or we will be trapped in our circumstances. We'll be trapped in our perspective. We'll be trapped thinking, why in the Hell? I was going to say Hihail. Anyway, why in the mess is this continuously happen to me? Why can't I break free? And we don't break free simply because we didn't realize that we wasn't plugged into God's purpose. And I'm not talking about necessarily, because we hear the word purpose and we get to thinking, oh, my purpose, what's my purpose? Your purpose is just to follow God's plan. And whatever it looks like in God's plan, that's what it looks like. Don't try to investigate it too much. Don't peer into it so much that you get tricked. Remember, the enemy is in the details. I don't know where that is. I don't even know if that's scriptural, but it's so factual, it's crazy. The devil's in the details. The details are the things that always get us hung up and tricked and going off, off into some ditches, you know what I mean? Because there's something that we focused on that we shouldn't be focused on. Hope it made sense, people. Pastor Jamal, Rising Ground Church. I talk to you. Peace.